My name is Sherry Harden, and today I'm going to go over some informal assessments that I completed with a student named Hunter Mitchell. Hunter is an 8th grade student who attends Westside Middle School, and he completed a psychoeducational evaluation in January of 2017. And on this psychoeducational evaluation, it showed that Hunter had deficits in the areas of um, adaptive behavior as well as in all academic areas. So the first assessment, informal assessment that I completed was to determine if he was still having issues with adaptive behavior. A need that I identified was that he needed behavior sports in the classroom to help him with increasing his on-task behavior. I used a tally mark checklist or tally mark assessment to determine whether he was still having off-task behavior. It counted the number of times that the following behaviors were observed: talking, disturbing others, um, and off-task behaviors. Hunter, he was observed in a 30-minute time period, and there was 6 incidences of him talking within that 30-minute time period, and then there were 3 incidences of him disturbing others, and 5 different times he was off task. This assessment shows that Hunter still exhibits inappropriate behavior and will need interventions to help him gain on task behavior. So we'll continue to work on him making appropriate choices. Okay. Another need that was identified for Hunter was to improve his decoding skills when reading consonant, vowel, consonant, silent E words, or consonant, vowel, consonant E words. He was given a flashcard. He was given those words on a flashcard, and he was shown the CVCE words written on note cards, and I placed a check if he could decode and read the words correctly. On this, Hunter had 10 words that he needed to read, and he was able to read 3 of the 10 words. He could identify like, cake, and June out of the following words: like, joke, cake, tile, bone, rude, gave, time, June, and brave. Being able to successfully read consonant, vowel, consonant E words is an important task that he will need to improve his reading and spelling. So the assessment that was given did provide valuable information that showed that Hunter was still still exhibited deficits in that area. So he still will need supports to continue to improve his being able to decode and read consonant, vowel, consonant E words. Okay. The next area that I assessed was being able to identify the main ideas in a passage in text. Hunter was given 3 on this assessment. He was given 3 passages to read and to pick the main idea. Hunter was not able to, he scored a 0 out of 3, which would be 0%. He was not able to pick the main idea out of the passages he read. This will be something that his special education teacher needs to identify and to work on. The assessment used was valid in providing the information that was necessary or needed to determine whether he still had a deficit in reading, which this evaluation or assessment showed that he did. I also assessed Hunter on the ability to complete double-digit addition problems with regrouping. Hunter scored a 1 out of 12 on this paper or this assessment. Hunter struggled with the double-digit regrouping. He was able to add the numbers, but did not regroup and add the 1 in the tens place when he was adding. He did successfully add 9 plus 6 and came up with 15, but did not regroup the 1. This assessment showed that he is having issues with math calculation, which correlates back to his psychoeducational evaluation. Math calculation was a deficit area that was noted on that evaluation. Money skills was also an area that I chose to focus on. Money skills is a life skill that Hunter will need to know to be able to make purchases and to have meaningful experiences in stores. Hunter was able to count the pennies. He was given an assessment. It was a worksheet where he was asked to count the money. Hunter needs to learn to count money. He was able to count pennies, and then he counted quarters. The assessment had 5 quarters, and he got 125 for the 5 quarters, and then he was able to count the pennies as 6. He got 2 out of 8 on this worksheet or assessment, which gave him an average of 25%, which shows that he still will need supports to be successful in learning to count money. I think on this worksheet or assessment, I probably should have gone back and gave him an assessment that only had one value, 1 point of each value in the problem, instead of having him count coins of various values. He struggled with that, so I would go back and give him an assessment to see if he could count pennies, and then if he could count the number of nickels on a page or the number of dimes. But I do feel like this accurately gave me a good idea of where Hunter is at with his ability to count money. And it does show that he has deficits in calculation and math, which correlates or corresponds with his psychoeducational evaluation. Hunter will need, based on these informal assessments, Hunter will continue to need supports for behavior to help him make appropriate behavior choices in school. He does get supports from mental health services at school, as well as his need for academic. I would continue his placement in a special education classroom based on these informal assessments in his assessment, his psychoeducational assessment from 2017. He requires a program or a classroom that's going to provide him opportunities for repetition and a multi-sensory learning environment that will help him be able to grasp the concepts that he will need for academic success. So the informal assessments did assess what I was looking for, whether he could decode and read consonant, vowel, consonant, silent E words, if he could pick the main idea out of a topic or out of a passage, whether he was able to successfully add double-digit addition problems with regrouping and count money. So I feel like the assessments were appropriate, and he will require assistance from a special education classroom where they can meet his needs academically. Thank you.